Do you remember when Portal 2 came out? Do you remember the trailers and ads for that game?
It's been a long time. How have you been?
The Valve that knew how to bring attention to their products, the Valve that could build hype and move units. In my last video, I opined the fact that Valve's marketing around the Steam Deck has been pretty awful. Now, Valve isn't reaching the demographic that I think would be the most solid in terms of Steam Deck's value proposition, but I stopped myself from going off on a tangential rant last time. However, you guys left comment after comment asking for that very rant, so I guess here it is. Now, before I get all red in the face and say something that you guys are going to get upset about, let me preface all of this by saying, I understand that Valve is struggling to meet demand for the deck anyway, and that might make for what I have to say here a moot point. However, Valve's strategy here is sending mixed messages, and they need to decide who they want the Steam Deck to be for. See, Valve's marketing strategy thus far has been to say, the Steam Deck is a portable PC. And yeah, I mean, that's true. It most certainly is a PC, but it also is not a PC. With few notable exceptions, PC manufacturers include Windows on their systems for maximum compatibility, and there are a few crowds in the computing space more myopically focused on maximizing the potential of their PC than the gamers. Wait, the Steam Deck can only play 80% of the games I've never so much as even launched from my Steam library? Bah, humbug. So calling the Steam Deck a PC brings with it this stigma, since it has a Linux OS under the hood. You know, they're not going to be able to win over a ton of existing PC gamers. Gamers with what I'll call a legacy library that might have incompatibilities, right? And, you know, the Steam Deck has the deck verified classification system that will guarantee that games will work great on the Steam Deck. Now, this isn't some self-service thing where game developers are left to self-verify their games are compatible with the Steam Deck. And this is not some crowdsourced baloney that Valve's tried to pull over on the gaming public before. This is Valve investing real money and time and resources into assuring that games are properly classified and confirmed to work with the Steam Deck. This is not something that Valve would do if this were just a PC. After all, PC gamers are used to tweaking and futzing and poking and coercing games to run. They will fiddle with settings and add launch parameters and blah blah blah, right? That's PC gaming in a nutshell. So the idea that Valve wants to provide a consistent experience for deck users, that sounds like a console to me. And if you wanted definitive proof that the Steam Deck is not a PC, look at its price point. At $399 US, Valve is not making much, if any, profit from the base 64GB model. And it should go without saying that PC manufacturers don't do that. They don't sell their hardware at a loss. Only game consoles do. Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft subsidize the price of the hardware with the expectations that you will buy more games from them later on and they'll make a profit from licensing software. That's how the industry works. And truthfully, Valve's CEO Gabe Newell said as much. Quote, "We've had to be very aggressive in terms of pricing on the deck. Determining a price point was painful, but that was pretty clearly a critical aspect of it." So while the Steam Deck might allow you to access a desktop and install games outside of Steam, it's a game console, first and foremost. It has built-in controls like the Switch. It's priced competitively against other consoles, and importantly, it is significantly less expensive than handheld gaming PCs. It runs its own custom operating system that isn't 100% compatible with every game on Steam. So this begs the question, is Valve subsidizing this hardware for existing Steam users on the hope that they'll continue to buy more games? Or are they hoping to release a Trojan horse to market to bring new users to Steam? Who is the Steam Deck actually for? It's pretty simple. Console gamers. It's obvious to me that console gamers who have never bought a game on Steam aren't tied down to their legacy Steam library. They're the people that Valve should be going after with the Steam Deck. It makes the most sense, and based on their actions, I think we can infer that Valve knows this. If you're brand new to Steam, you won't need to worry about not being able to play some of your games. You just stick to the Deck Verified section of the Steam store. That's why Deck Verified exists. But the fact is, Valve insists on calling the Steam Deck a PC, and in my opinion, there are few ways to turn off a console gamer faster than calling it a PC. The idea of PC gaming comes with all this extra baggage. As we've already established, PC gaming is all about jumping through stupid hoops and tweaking settings and optimizing performance. Meanwhile, the Steam Deck is a singular piece of kit. I believe it will become the baseline for PC games to target since Valve intends to ship millions, plural, of units. And if that does become the case, games on the Steam Deck won't feel like traditional PC games. Valve has already confirmed that games will be able to release a special version for the deck that utilizes less disk space and has optimizations for Proton and Linux. They'll just work, just like every other console.
If your game depots are full of high-resolution textures, audio, or movies, you may want to consider configuring depots with lower resolution versions specific to the Steam Deck.
Yet another check in the Steam Deck is a console column, and yet Valve is trying to sell this handheld to the notoriously fickle and already established PC gaming crowd. Why? As a means to hedge their bets against Epic Games and other competitors? Maybe to keep the good fight going against Windows' ever-encroaching walled garden. Yeah, probably, but also to bring new customers to Steam. That is a given. And I know that the chip shortage and the delays and blah blah blah, but Valve has already stated that they intend to sell millions of these, and they're not going to expand the Steam player base by selling to existing Steam customers. They know this. Yet their messaging so far has been, hey Steam customers, looking for subsidized console hardware that can play some of your games? For goodness sake, you have to have a Steam account in order to pre-order one of these things. Yes, they've successfully built hype among a certain type of PC gamer. Linus Sebastian, and myself, for example. We are guys who already have a gaming PC or multiple gaming PCs and a Switch. But Valve needs to branch out and extend an olive leaf to console gamers. Folks who are stuck in their ways on Xbox and PlayStation and, yes, Nintendo Switch. Technically, yes, the Steam Deck is a PC, but calling it a PC, I think, does a disservice to what the Steam Deck is aiming to be. A consoleized PC. A PC without all the cruft and annoyances and tweaking and optimizing that comes with traditional PC gaming. And Valve should be doing a better job in their messaging. They should be selling these at retail, and they should stop calling it a PC. I know that's going to piss a lot of people off, but I would love to know what you think. If somehow Valve is able to overcome the chip shortage and has a surplus of hardware, who do you think they should try to sell it to? Sound off in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Hopefully, even if you disagree with my take, you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit that like button. If we can get to 5,000 likes, my team and I will try to make more content just like this. No matter what you do, don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with all the stuff that we're doing here on the channel. We have massive plans for 2022, and I can't wait to share all of it with you. Thank you for watching, and I want to extend a special thanks to my friends on Patreon and my YouTube members who make what I do here a reality. I truly wouldn't be able to do this if it weren't for my patrons and my members. If you believe in the work that I'm doing and you want to join up on the Linux warpath with me and help this show grow, use the links below to pledge your monthly support. It's all greatly appreciated. That's going to do it for now though. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.